All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to record, just put it in the chat. We're going to get started with head coach Jim Curtin. After his opening statement, we'll go right into questions.
Yeah, thanks, Nico. Just to reflect back on Chicago, spoke with the group, and obviously a strong 82 minutes from the group, but then let ourselves down on some restarts with our defending, that led to corner kicks, had opportunities to clear balls, didn't defend the box as well as we should have, and we paid for it. So again, a really tough loss, a heartbreaking loss that hurts. But now we have to pick ourselves up quickly because we have a big rivalry game with Red Bull coming to town. Obviously, a very strong team in good form. We recognize our home form has been poor, but we're going to need our fans behind us to push us on a hot day. Third game in a week, a lot of things going against us, but it's time now for us to step up and find a way to get a win.
Thanks, Jim. We can start with questions in the room.
Jim, I think everybody knows the circumstances of this team right now, how short the roster is, etc. So in other teams and other leagues in the world that have relegation, there would doubtless be consequences for a run like this.
Yeah.
There's already been other managers fired around the league this year for probably less than this. What consequences have there been internally so far from what's
Yeah, look, I think that what you have, Jonathan, is as a coach, as players, as owners, we've built up some good equity over the last 5 seasons with the fan base, and I think we've earned that, and they've been behind us for sure. I think the way that we've lost games recently, and the alarming way that we've lost games, is what maybe escalates things feeling very negative. And we recognize that winning is the only thing that cures it. Winning is the most important thing. I've learned that as a manager. You can talk about developing players, you can talk about a million different things, but winning comes first, and that's what makes the fans happy. So not to oversimplify things, but we know when we step on the field, if we lose, we're going to get booed again. That's going to happen. If we win, we're going to get cheered off the field. It's a very, very simple equation. Our fans are intelligent. They know they've had our backs for the entirety of the year. But yeah, there's definitely pressure to find a way out of this rut. It's the first time I think a lot of the guys have gone through old or young in our roster, a negative period. So how we respond to that is important, and we haven't responded good enough yet. So I'm in charge of that as the leader. I recognize, the things that go along with being the leader is you usually get the blame when things go bad. And I understand that. And I put my hand up, and I've never really ran or hid from that or dodged questions from anybody. So it hurts right now. It hurts me. It hurts our fans. It hurts the players each and every day. So we have to find a way to get out of it, though. That's our reality. I know we have the quality to do it. I know that we have a group to do it. And I know that we're going to do it.
each person naturally step back and say, what am I doing wrong? What can I do better? Are you able to step back, take the 30,000-foot view of things? What do you think you're doing wrong when you can do better as the manager?
Yeah, look, I always look at myself first. I always look in the mirror first at everything that goes on at this club. Not just the good things, the bad things too. I think that you have to be self-reflective. Some things I can say publicly, and some things I know that have gone wrong this year have to stay inside. So there's always a lot of different things with any team when you go through highs or lows. So I'll continue to try to improve, continue to keep the group together. We've been a group that's still, as hard as it's been, is still together, is still fighting for each other, is scoring enough goals on the road. Even in our last 3 games, we've scored 8 goals on the road. Normally, that would be plenty to take points. We've taken home 0 points with 8 goals scored on the road. So there's still little positives that keep the group fighting, keep them together. Again, it's a hard moment. There's no doubt from that. No doubt about that. I don't hide from that, and I take responsibility. But I also know and believe that not too long ago, we've won a lot of games together as well, so we can get out of this.
Jim, when you have a stretch like this, and obviously there's not much of a depth option to change certain things, there's not how do you kind of go how do you kind of approach making changes when you maybe have limited personnel, limited formations that you can do? How do you approach trying to do things differently to change the momentum in a stretch like this?
Yeah, Matt, we look at every position, how we can improve, how we can upgrade. Again, I feel bad that we've put players in positions maybe that, it was too much too soon, out of injuries, necessity. Again, I don't think people understand the importance of Andre and just what that does to the entire group, right? And that's not a knock on any other individuals. That's just what he means to the team. If you take Bouanga off LAFC or you take Mukhtar off Nashville, it looks a lot different. And without Andre, we look a lot different. There's no question about that. So little things like that, I think, have an effect on different positions and personnel as well. Are there different players that are in really good form? Are there some that have had tough seasons? For sure. I think that we all go through that. Again, I've put my hand up too, and I haven't had my best season. So, but we all still know that there's 13 games left. We have to get in the playoffs. That's going to be our goal at this point. Does our expectations shift, and is it annoying to not be talking about fighting for a top 4 seed like we usually are? Yeah, it hurts, right? We finished in the top 5 in total points 5 years in a row in this league, which isn't easy to do. We know the restrictions, limitations we have, but we still know that we can be that team. And I still have a belief that we will. Still going to be shorthanded tomorrow. There's no doubt about it. We can't hide from that. That's the reality of things. But it's an opportunity for other guys to step up. And again, find a way to grind out 3 points.
Hey, could you please share your thoughts on the job Sandra Schwartz is doing and any difference in style of play from Struber? Same.
Yeah, incredible coach. You can tell his players are really bought in. They're very, very organized, and they've added now a little bit more quality in that attacking part of the field. Is Forsberg probably a direct, link to that as well, for sure. But they have a lot of really good attacking pieces, and you can see the way they combine in the attacking part of the field is maybe different in years past. Previously, it's always going to be a hard game against Red Bull. There's no doubt that the intensity, the fight will be there with them. But what they've really sprinkled in is some of the team goals that they're scoring now. Yes, they're in quick transitions, but the quality of passes and finishing has been ramped up to a new level, and that's why they are where they are in the table. So we have to step up now and go against a good opponent. In some ways, they bring the best out of us too, because it is a highly competitive rivalry game. We know it'll be a challenging one. They're also fresh and haven't had a midweek game, so that'll be difficult. But very well coached team, very organized, and yeah, a lot of the same faces now are having much better seasons than they had in the past, and that speaks to the quality of the coach.
Speaking of absences, the list is long. Run off all the names, but Blake, Bedoya, Anderson, Aribo, anybody else you want to throw in?
Bedoya will be back, which gives us a boost off the bench. I don't think he'll be able to start, but he'll be available off the bench. Blake will resume training if everything goes perfectly. We'll resume training next week, which is big. Again, you talk about two of the biggest, strongest voices we have in our locker room, getting us through this tough time that you've talked about, Jonathan. For them to now be on the field training goes a little bit further, and the words that they speak now will become stronger, which is good to have them back. Ty comes back off of the injury with the back spasms. He'll be able to go tomorrow, which is good. Bueno will miss tomorrow. That tackle at the end of the game kind of put his ankle in a bad way. X-rays were negative, so nothing's broken in there or too damaged structurally. He tried to push things through a test and in the morning today. He's a tough kid, but it's just not right. So he's going to be held out. David Lowe is back and fully with the team. So he'll give us a boost. That helps.
All right, we can switch over to Zoom. Joe Tanzi.
Mikel is not quite ready to join the group yet, but getting stronger. Anderson will be back with the group as well.
We can go to Zoom.
All right, we can go to Zoom. Joe Tanzi.
Jim, how do you manage the goalkeeper situation at this point between Oliver, Andrew, and I assume Holden might get into the conversation as well, coming back from injury?
Yeah, Andrew will start.
Jose Nunez?
My question was taken, so I will pass. Best of luck, Jim.
Thank you.
Joe, do you still have a question or?
I mean, do you want to go further into the decision, Rick, over Semla? I think it's pretty clear, but you want to add any more to that?
Well, look, again, we've put them in an unfair situation. We aren't stable and strong defensively. We've conceded 14 goals now in our last 4 games, so that is not acceptable. I don't like going back and forth. It was never the plan. But at the same time, we have to make a decision that hopefully gives us a spark and gives us the best chance to win. So that's our decision.
All right, and final question, we'll go to David Melandra.
Hey, Jim, what is your message to the fan base for those fans who are going to be coming out to the game tomorrow night that still have questions? Will you guys be able to fix things and make things back to how it's supposed to be exciting at Subaru Park?
Yeah, look, we recognize our home form. We've let our fans down. Again, we need them to be behind us. We know they will against a Red Bull opponent. In the hard moments, that's when we learn the most about each other, and they've stuck with us. They've stuck behind us, and we have to reward that with a win. That's really the most simple way I can put it. Philadelphia fans are the best, and they're the most loyal, passionate fan base in all of sports. But I also recognize it's a very simple equation, right? If you win, you will get cheered. If you lose, you will get booed. It's very, very simple, and that is as fair and as honest as I can put it. I think we recognize that. We need them tomorrow to be loud and be behind us, and I know that the boys will give maximum effort to get the 3 points.
We're gonna do one last one with Matt.
Jim, just as a follow-up, we talked a lot about Andre. Are you, I don't know what adjective is right, surprised, disappointed that guys haven't responded with young, inexperienced goalies behind them, some of the veterans in front of them?
Yeah, look, I think we all, when we concede as many goals as we did, Matt, we can all do better, right? I take the blame as the coach, but there's moments on the field where, there's you guys saw in the last game, as simple as we have 8 players in the box on 2 of the goals, 8. And again, it just becomes about, in that moment, desire, aggressiveness to protect the goalkeeper. So this isn't just on one person at all. So again, I agree. Yeah, other guys have to step up in the absence of one of your best players. So we haven't done that, and unfortunately, that makes it harder, for the younger guys and the guys who are going through it for the first time. I say it all the time to you guys. I wish now these guys were going through it with that super stable group where we would concede 2 or 3 shots a game. But right now, that's not the case, and everything's hitting the back of the net, and it's been tough for all of us. But again, no one's coming to save us. We have to help each other and get ourselves out of it, because this game, no one feels sorry for you. The next game's coming, and we have to step up.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.